I'm gonna try to make it in a hole here. Dang it.
Thanks to SimpliSafe for sponsoring this video.
Oh, look at this, look at this. Cooper brought me an eggnog.
What you're looking at is what we got left. 60 acres. If you have 4 good, strong running hours, we're gonna be done.
Well, here I am. Cooper gave me a crash course in the combine here, how to run it. The goofy part for me, and it's probably weird going from an 8-row head to 12-row, my count is off when I turn to go on my rows, and I just did it again. Heard something beeping, don't know what it is. I don't see smoke, I don't see fire.
Yield booster.
Yo! Hey Coop, this is the shame of dog. We are done. Woohoo! We just crossed the finish line. Did you see Daddy Cornstar have any breakdowns running the combine? No, I had no breakdowns.
All right, guys, if you don't have a security system in your home or your business, well, first off, I don't know what you're waiting for, and second off, I have good news for you, because right now, our friends over at SimpliSafe are offering their best deals of the year. They're opening up their Black Friday sales early. They're offering 50% off or more on their home security system. If you're not familiar with SimpliSafe, it's the easier way to secure your home, your family, or in my case, my business. This is literally the simplest thing in the world. We just get on their website, click build a system, take the quiz, then bam! The pros at SimpliSafe will give advice on exactly what I need, and then it arrives right at the front door. If you've been following the channel for a little while, you would know that this is the dryer shack, aka our control center for our $1 million bin site. I don't want people to be able to get in there because, well, if they can turn the electricity on, they could steal my grain if I'm not here. This is where the beauty of the smart lock comes in, because I can choose who has a code to this door, so I know who's going in, who's going out, and I know what times they're doing it. And thanks to the indoor camera, I'm gonna know how the thermostat magically changes. Literally, the whole point of building this building was to protect this box. So if anyone's doing anything with it, I want to know about it, and I need to know about it. So I'm going to put a motion sensor inside there, so if the door ever gets opened, I'm going to know about it. Now, unfortunately, with the way we designed this building, we had to put our water line in on an exterior wall, so I got a water break sensor and a freeze sensor I'm going to be sticking inside the wall. Done. Carbon monoxide and smoke detectors, glass break sensor, entry sensors. In the case of an emergency, we also have a panic button. Our building's obviously not done yet, so there's supposed to be a door here, but I have the outdoor video doorbell. I'm gonna be sticking right here. That way I can monitor this mudroom, but I can also talk to people from this. And I also ordered a wireless outdoor camera that I'm gonna be sticking up on the leg. It's got 140 degrees field of view, 8x zoom. It's also got night vision on it. And it's literally as simple as taking the base station and plugging it into the wall.
SimpliSafe on.
And between the keypad and the app, it literally gives the step-by-step.
Your camera is ready for setup. Follow the instructions in the SimpliSafe app to get started.
I really don't know how to show how easy setup is, other than the fact that you literally pull this little thing out, it activates the batteries, and you're ready to go. Everything we just went through, I set up in 30 minutes. So like I said, guys, this is SimpliSafe's biggest sale of the year, 50% off or more on their security systems. So be sure to go check out the link in the description and go take advantage of it. Harvest getting over is such a bittersweet moment. We're just so excited to get everything done. We don't have to worry about anything in the field anymore. We started the 3rd week of September, so I mean, we've probably well over 600 hours into harvest. It's just been a long harvest for us this year.
I do want to thank the boys for letting me run the machine a little bit today. It meant a lot to me, and thank you, Cooper, for taking the time to explain stuff. It wasn't that many years ago I was explaining to you guys how to run this stuff, so it just felt nice running the machine. But the sad part is now, once the crop's done, the check quits growing, and that's the worst part.
You don't get paid. Are you holding out on us?
Let's get some food orders.
Tell you what, you can tell I haven't been driving this. We got crap on the floor over here. Floor's filthy. We got garbage back here. What are we doing?
I will say one thing that was really nice about this harvest was that we literally had no mud or anything. So the semis are actually fairly clean. So when it comes to power washing, you know, getting all up under here and everything, we don't have like a foot of mud we have to go through. It all squirts back in your face, and you know, it's not very fun doing that. As much as I would like to get into cleaning up all this equipment, it's gonna have to wait a couple days. Dad and I need to go run off and dig a grave right now, and then tomorrow we have a family Thanksgiving.
One home, 3 to go. One last go around, girl. It's time to go home. Left this on, field average 208. Should we see what the highest yielding spot was? Let's go 200. 240 plus is dark green. That's all above 250. You can see where all the washouts are. Washout there, where the water runs, right there, there. Cool. Oh, there, now you can see. Low spot, low spot, low spot. Low spot, low spot. Got a little M&M guy a long time ago, and he was in our other combine, and he's in this combine. He just transfers to every combine we buy. He's missing a foot, and he's missing an arm. If someone can make M&M a new arm and send it to us, we will put it on. Look at that. Look at him. How cool. Wow. Little guy. We're gonna go clean my pickup out because after fall, it gets pretty dirty, hauling all tools around, service crap, whatever, trash from stopping at Casey's every morning. Stuff adds up. Sad moment. Sad but exciting. We're done. Oh my, that is not my pop. Don't accuse me of that. Trash. Need a dumpster for that one.
Well, let's call it quits out here at the cemetery, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I ate way too much food. Before we get started working on all this stuff and getting things ready for next spring and over the winter time, I figured it'd just be a good idea if I just made a list of everything that we need to do and then everything that we want to do this winter, so that you guys kind of know what to expect coming forward in the next couple months. It also just builds a better understanding of everything that we have to get fixed from harvest, but also everything that we need to do to get ready for next year. Because it's kind of a common misconception that during the wintertime, farmers don't really do anything. So wants versus needs. First off, what's the difference? A need is something that we absolutely have to do in order to have the piece of equipment ready for next year. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's got to be done. A want is, hey, this is going to be really cool. I'd like to do this. This is on my list of stuff I want to do. But if I don't get to it, not going to be the end of the world. First up on the needs, we just got done around the combine, so naturally that's going to be the first thing we go through. The corn head, there's a lot of moving parts on this thing, so we need to do a full check over all the gearboxes, make sure anything's broken, missing, whatever. If it is, we need to replace it. A lot of moving parts on this, a lot of really important components, so just a lot of stuff to look through. I mean, just off quick notice here, this Devastator needs to be slidden over. We're starting to wear on that bearing a little bit. I have a bent bracket right here on one of our sensors. I know we were concerned about our sprockets maybe getting a little bit wore, and then I can see we have a gearbox leaking some oil. When it comes to the combine, we've already placed every single mechanical plus electronical part on the thing, so I don't really know how there's much more to do. I'm kidding. But really, combine stuff, we need to get everything cleaned up, get everything blown off, get it inspected, find out what's broken, so that way we can get parts ordered to get everything fixed. We do have all the oils and fluids and everything else we need to change, just so that way they're ready to go for next year. Things like the bogies inside the tracks and then our main gearboxes in there, a lot of those are good for 500 hours, so we shouldn't have to do those. But engine oils, hydraulic filters, all that kind of good stuff needs replacing. Last year when we bought the combine, the dealership we bought it from did a lot of the major wear components on this combine, but I know for certain our clean grain elevator chain, that is going to be needed to replace behind this. And then there's a cross auger underneath. It's starting to get pretty small. So those are two things I know for sure. And also when it comes to our unloading auger, we're gonna see about getting an extension on that, because with the 45-foot bean head, you're about that far away. 340s are main planter tractors, so we need to get this thing cleaned up and then full servicing once again, engine oils, hydraulic filters, air filters, just get everything cleaned up, make sure all the cabs and stuff are cleaned out. We don't want mice getting anything. then we'll get all our monitors in for next year for running the planter. We don't have anything too big going on with the 340 this year. I know one little thing we've having issues with is when you turn all the lights on, for some reason the back ones want to blow out, so I don't know if we need to put in some sort of fuse or something in there. But 340 should be pretty quick work. Just for the rest of the video reference, it kind of speeds things up a little bit. When I say it needs a full service, I'm talking full greasing, engine oil changed, oil filters changed, hydraulic filters changed, air filters changed, cab cleaned out, body cleaned. You know, just a full service. And depending on which machine it is, really influences how much that costs and how much time that takes. Typically something like the 340, I would say during winter hours, it's probably gonna take at least a good day. If Dad's doing it, it's gonna take 3. But I mean, just the filters alone for this thing are like $600. So by the time you toss the oil in there, plus the time to do it, I mean, you're well over $1,000 per machine for a full service. The old brand 1396 here. This was a demo unit from Unverfirth, so this is going back to them, but we need to get everything cleaned up on it. We'll get it greased up for them and stuff again. We got a couple little mishaps that Neva had. So we'll get those things fixed and then send this back to them just like new. When it comes to the old 1993 Polaris Explorer, we take our in-command 1200 monitor and we mount it here, and then we have our GPS receiver up here, so that way we can go to our fields, we can outline them and then make boundaries. This bad boy broke a chain last spring and it hasn't been fixed yet. As we all know, I like it when stuff is clean, so I would really like, I want to clean the shop, get everything organized. Still got some organizing I want to do in the back shelves with toolboxes and everything else, so that way we can find stuff easier. But not the end of the world if that doesn't get done, because the equipment stuff is more important. But it's up there at the top of the list of wants. Honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Oliver doesn't need anything other than needing to put a half a gallon of engine oil in it every time you use it, and a gallon of hydraulic fluid, and I mean, it probably could use a new set of tires, but it'll be fine. Now, I want you guys to remember these tires here in a couple minutes. Now, depending on when it freezes, this will kind of depict on if we're able to do this or not. But we got a whole bunch of junk still down here at Dad's place, especially over there along the side of the main heated shop. So if it doesn't freeze, we'll be able to get that stuff picked back up, and I guess it kind of depends when Pete comes back too. I'm gonna stick this one in the needs category, even though I have absolutely no control on if it's gonna happen or not. This is our old skid loader trailer. We pulled the old axles off it because it was ruined last year. We literally ordered it a year ago and it hasn't came in yet. So if that ever comes in, we'll be able to get that going. That way we can run 2 skid loader trailers. I'm gonna put that on the need list because I want that done. This is Cooper's square baler. I don't know what he wants to do with it or not, but the knotter, I think, is having some issues on it. It needs to get inside. That's all I know. Whether we're gonna tackle into actually fixing it or not, I have no idea. 45-foot draper needs a full servicing to it, and we also had a gentleman from Acton come out and he looked at a bunch of stuff on it, and he said it kind of needs a lot of work on just good maintenance stuff that hasn't been done since it was brand new. Maybe things like there are incorrect springs in here, there's some bushings in there somewhere, there's different bearings, I guess, that are starting to go out, and the belts are starting to get a little worn. Pretty much all of our farms need major work in some way, shape, or form, whether that's fences. All of our trees are out now though, so I guess that's a good thing. But our big one is waterways. We have a lot of really bad washed out waterways, just big gullies in them, so you're driving along with a tractor, and I mean, it's enough to sink a tractor inside of some of them. And we have some wet spots in them, they need tile work done. So the particular ones I really want to focus on is Bill's. Bill's is 160 acres. We should be able to start at this fence line, plant all the way back and forth until we're half a mile down the road, but no. Right now we have it separated in like 5 different fields. It's just a major efficiency killer. So as long as the weather holds out and we don't get some frost, I'd like to get a hold of Ron, our bulldozer man, have him come out to this farm, smooth out our waterways, that way we can replant them in grass, but then we'll be able to start at that fence line, plant all the way back and forth until we hit that one.
Fix the driveways, please. They're too small.
I would have to agree with that. We got some pretty narrow driveways, especially with the semi. So doing this thing to Bill's, I literally want to do it to every single farm, but bulldozer work's expensive, so we're going to do what we can. But Bill's and the Hanson farm are the ones I would really like to get to this year because it would open up a ton of efficiency. You guys see those hay bales over there? Well, it's kind of Cooper's baby, but he's got hay bales he needs to get delivered. Hey, look at that chicken. I like to say the Westfield auger needs, why would I like to say that? The Westfield auger doesn't need anything, that's ready to go. But the 7140 here, we're gonna do a full service on it because we're gonna be using that to unload our bins since they don't have the reclaim set up for things yet. Actually, that's where old Westy is gonna come into play. It's gonna be used to fill semis. Because the 7140, I don't think there's really anything too major. I mean, full major servicing. The tires are starting to get down there a little bit on it, so we might be putting some new tires on. Just kind of depends how stuff goes. We did have our valve clearances checked like 500 hours ago, so we're good for like another 8,000 hours on those. Full 7140 is a good machine. Other than doing a full service on the dually and trading it for a diesel, it doesn't really need anything else. I'm gonna throw in an honorary extra need. Now this is something we don't actually do ourselves, we pay for it to be done, so I guess we gotta come up for the money, but that is our fertilizer spreading. They actually just pulled in right now. So this guy's got P and K on him, or phosphate and potassium. So the dry spreaders should be coming in here in a little bit. Then they'll start spreading that on. They have 1,000 acres of bean ground to do and 1,000 acres of corn ground. This falls into the need category because we got to have that fertilizer on for next year in order to produce some high yielding crops. Fuel trailer's pretty much ready to go. We do need to change the fuel filter on it, I guess, but that's a 5-minute job or a 3-hour job for Dad. But the semis, that's kind of where we come into. We got some stuff to do on them. The white one, the red one, and the gray one are main ones we use for harvest. They need full servicing on them, and the insides of them are absolutely filthy. You guys remember those tires I was talking about earlier? These ones are starting to see the cords dip through, so we need to be putting new tires on a couple of them. The trailers are all good for tires. Trailers do need some servicing though. Those cranks, oh man, they are just hard. I know the gearbox on the back on this one is starting to go bad. And then there's some bearings underneath that actually run the traps. Those are completely shot on 2 of the trailers. So we're gonna have to pop some rivets out on them. I don't think they've been replaced since the early 80s. So that might be kind of a fun job, but it needs to be done. Hey, what's wrong? You guys see these 2 bins? There's 10,000 bushels of beans in each one of them. And the bin behind me has 30,000 bushels of beans in it, and that bin over there has got 13,000 bushels of bean in it. All of those need to be brought into our bean processing plant, so we gotta load the semis up. We're gonna be hiring truckers again this year to bring it in there. We got a lot of beans to haul. And how can we forget the new bin site? It's still not done yet. We still got some electrical stuff that needs to be done. The bin guys are still working on putting a few things together. Not everything's just final, sealed up, hooked up yet, but there's 210,000 bushels of corn in there, so we have 210 loads that need to go to the ethanol plant. So we're gonna have semis in and out of here all winter. We got contracts for the next 5 months that we need to have delivered. And our dryer shack's still not done either. We're waiting on the mudding guys to finish mudding, so that way they can get in here and get painted. Then we can finally get all of our electricity stuff hooked up. We can get all our appliances in here. It's gonna be a little kitchen. Gotta get the couch in here, table. We already have all the plumbing ready to go, but it's just a matter of getting this thing done so that way we can get everything working. And if everything goes to plan, we're also thinking about epoxying these floors. So right now we got this paper down, but they'll pull that off. Those guys will come in, they'll sand the floor, put the epoxy down, make it look nice, make it a lot easier to clean. 1840K skid loader just needs full servicing on it. During the winter time, we just use it to plow snow, so it doesn't really get a whole lot of heavy work. But the groundhog, on the other hand, that digs through frozen dirt for us when we're digging graves. So we need to make sure that this is fully serviced as well, and that everything's running smoothly and ready to go. Because once that ground freezes, you can't use the backhoe. You gotta use the groundhog. The 16-year-old planter, I believe when we got done with planting season, we already went through this. This is 100% ready to go for planting season, but the 24-year-old planter that's back in the corner in the dark, we have to pull everything apart on it. All the major wear components, we're gonna be pulling the disc wheels off, our press wheels, we gotta pull our frogs, our seed tubes, all of that stuff's going to be getting replaced. So that's gonna need, it's gonna be a little bit more work intensive when it comes to that one. That's gonna be a few day job. And expensive. Cooper's baler, I don't really think it needs anything other than just a good cleanup. And as for the last of the tractors, the John Deere 4840 is what we use to pull the 16-year-old planter. We need to do a full servicing on this. It is going to be getting new tires on it, and then we'll just get all the monitors in the cab, get everything ready. I do want to put LED lights on this thing. We have them on there now, but we need to add more because it's just kind of like you're holding a candle out in front of you when you're out in the field. Then our 674 Brent grain cart, it just needs cleaned out. Then we'll just clean it up and put it back in the corner. Before we started in harvest, Jordan, our Hagee guy, came down. He did a full inspection on the sprayer. So we have a list of parts we need to get ordered for that and then get put on there so that way the sprayer will be ready to go. But other than that, just needs a full service. Already got the fat tires on it. And then it'll be ready to spray. We got my nice pile of siding right here. I really want to get my house sided. It's just not gonna happen this winter. But inside of here, we have just open spray foam showing. I'd really like to get this tinned, be able to get the ceiling up, the walls, to be able to get conduit and everything, get our air liner in around it. That would be really nice to do. So if we get this other stuff done, this would be a nice winter project for me. And then the biggest want of them all, the Grove. I really want to get this stuff finalized, picked up, all the little stuff. So as long as it doesn't freeze, we'll be able to go out there and get that done. And just because something is a need and a want, that doesn't necessarily prioritize when it's going to happen. I will put a want ahead of a need if the weather's fitting, because something like cleaning up the Grove here, it's a want, but I can't do it when it's frozen out. while getting tractors ready as a need, but we can do that during the winter time when it's cold in a heated shop. I'm not really sure how I almost forgot about this, but we still have some demo here and upstairs and getting all the rooms gutted and electricity in, you know, all the good fun stuff. We got work in the house, in other words. That pretty much wraps it up for all the neat stuff that needs to be done in the shop or outside, but there's also a lot of neat stuff that needs to be done in the office. We have a ton of meetings in December. We got to meet with our CPA, our lawyer, our agronomist, because we still got some fertilizer stuff we got to take care of. We got chemical stuff as well as some seed stuff that we still need to get ordered. And then we just have a lot of book work we need to catch back up on and get our planning figured out for the rest of 21. Maybe we've got some tax stuff we need to put some money into 21 instead of 22, or put stuff into 22. We just want to make sure we're planning ahead while we still can plan. And then just a lot of organizing, making sense of harvest, gather all our yield data, field data, all that stuff, compile it in, figure out how we did, maybe meet with some landlords on things, go over how the fields performed, and maybe discuss rents for next year. Just a lot of stuff. Our biggest wild card of them all is how many graves we're gonna have. Sometimes we get lucky and we don't have a whole lot, and other times there's a bunch. As of right now, that's our tentative plan on everything that we need to get done over these winter months, our wants, needs. All these projects are going to be worked on at some point, and that is not including all the projects we want to do, because we have future stuff for next year and, you know, things for year after that. But you got to start somewhere. You can't eat, how's that saying go? You can't eat an elephant in one bite. That doesn't sound right. You guys know what I mean. Just got to take small bites at a time, and eventually we'll eat the elephant. But these things don't do themselves, so I better get to them. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.